All right, a recent NBC Telemundo poll shows that Republicans are actually gaining ground on Democrats when it comes to support from Hispanic voters. Now, according to the poll, Democrats still have a rather significant lead, 54-33, with respect to Hispanics. But notice the shift from previous elections. The gap has actually decreased by 5 points from the 2018 midterms and half of the 42-point lead difference from 10 years ago. So is that a good sign for Republicans as we head into the midterm? Let's discuss with a pair of Hispanic candidates for Congress, Paulina, who's running in Florida's 13th Congressional District, and Monica De La Cruz, who's running in Texas's 15th District. Ladies, good to see you both. I want to start with you, Monica. We're seeing a shift to the GOP for Hispanic voters. What do you attribute that to?
Look, the Democrat Party has walked away from its people here in South Texas. Their policies are not working. The border crisis has been just devastating for not only our communities here in South Texas, but the entire nation. At the end of the day, Hispanic values include people in their faith, loving their family, and really believing in the American dream. Isn't that why we all immigrated over here, is because of the opportunity? And when the Democratic Party is saying that just doesn't exist, it just does not align with the values of Hispanics.
Paulina, I want to ask you this. The Hispanics are not monolithic. And so is that shift among all Hispanics, or is there one group, Cubans or Mexicans or Colombians that is more accepting of the Republican path or less?
I think that it's more of a national shift, and you're going to see that among all demographics. It's interesting because the Biden administration and the Democrats like to falsely brand Hispanics as only being Mexicans, and that's simply not the case. But, with their increased rhetoric and insulting statements that they've made, in the last couple of months, you had Jill Biden literally referring to us as breakfast tacos. You had most recently Nancy Pelosi calling us crop pickers, but after November, they'll be calling us Republicans.
Monica, you're in a border state there. Democrats' open border position has become more apparent, and their desire for a path for citizenship for these illegal migrants. How is that sitting with Hispanic voters?
Hispanics believe in law and order. We not only support our local law enforcement officers, but our Border Patrol agents. Right here in Texas 15, we house the largest Border Patrol sector in the entire nation. Border Patrol agents, they're our friends, they're our families, they're our neighbors. They're the ones on the front line that are protecting our communities. And that's just one thing that the Democrats are ignoring. They think all Hispanics want open borders, and that's just simply not true. The Democratic Party just doesn't care about what's important to Hispanics. And that's why the people in South Texas and Hispanics all over the nation are not just walking away from the Democratic Party, but they're running away by the thousands.
Anna, would you say it's the same in Florida? Obviously, your governor has made this a big issue. We've seen him busing migrants around the country to these sanctuary cities. Is that driving Hispanics to the polls, though?
What's driving Hispanics to the polls is the economy. And especially with Florida, we have a massive Cuban American demographic. We also have a large demographic of Venezuelans. These are both demographics of people that have experienced socialism and communism firsthand. And so they see what's happening in our own government among the progressives on the left, and they are genuinely in fear for the future of our nation. So we are embracing those voters with open arms. I can tell you, every time I do outreach, every time I go to the polls and I talk to voters, right now the number one issue is the economy. And we are going to continue to remind voters of that, not just locally, but nationally, especially being that Hispanic Americans are largely also in part, largely in part business owners, regardless of what Nancy Pelosi might think.
Monica, Anna mentioned this, but a recent Pew poll on issues that are important to Hispanic voters shows that the economy is that top issue. But interestingly, abortion in that poll has gone up by 15 points since March. And it was interesting because I always think that Hispanics are very socially conservative as a group. Are you surprised by how much that change occurred? And do you think that predominantly is among younger voters in that demographic?
Look, that poll can be misleading. 40% of Hispanics reside in California, Illinois, New York, and New Jersey. What I can tell you about the Hispanics here in South Texas is that we are a conservative group that believes in protecting life. And at the end of this day, like Ana Paulina says, we care about the economy, inflation. People are voting with their pocketbooks because they cannot go to the grocery store and buy the same amount of food that they used to. Hispanics tend to have larger families, and thus they're struggling right now to feed all the mouths at their table. That affects Republicans, Democrats, Independents. And that's why I think that we will see a large shift of Hispanic voters in the November election vote for the Republican Party, which means a strong economic future.
Ana Paulina, I got 20 seconds left. What's an issue that you think would surprise people that's playing in your district?
I'd have to say right now, a lot of people are really disgusted by the leftists exploiting their hurricane response. And so we're supporting Governor DeSantis. We'll be bringing home the win this November, and I look forward to coming back as a representative.
Okay. Well, both of you, best of luck. It's amazing to see the shift going on. Thank you both for being with us, and I look forward. I know that point that you made, Nancy Pelosi is going to call you both members of Congress very soon, so good luck.
Yes.
Thank you.